What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Just Be Real podcast. I'm your host, Marissa Tong, and today we're joined by another special guest on the show. First of all, we're still honoring Black women, okay? Black women out here changing lives, helping their communities, all that. So today we have our special guest, CPA, financial guru, let me stop, but pretty much, okay, Keanna Virgil.
Hi.
Hey, girl.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for coming on the show.
I'm excited to be here.
Yes. So let's talk finances today.
Let's talk money.
Yes, money. So Keanna is actually part of a company called Money Honey Financial. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. So first of all, shout out to Khadijah. That is the CEO and founder of Money Honey Financial. I am the head of small business accounting over there, and it's a blast. We basically are doing bookkeeping for all of our clients. Just think about the back end of your business. So all the transactions that happen, the money coming in, the money going out, making sure you have financial statements, making sure you can get your grants, apply for your loans, all of that. We're making sure that we get done for you. And then the other side of Money Honey Financial is all things taxes. So Khadijah, the team, Janelle, they all handle everything for taxes. So we get you right on both ends.
Yes, we love that. So we have pretty much talked about like everything on the show so far except finances. Like we talked a little bit about abundance. We had an episode where, we talked about abundance, how we can attract more money, all that. Thank you. But I wanted to give people more insight on like what to do once they get the abundance, like what to do when they're bringing in more money, or how they can bring in more money, or how they can manage their money a little bit better. I think everybody can relate where we all just want to be financially healthy and wealthy and all that.
Yes. So happy, healthy, wealthy.
For real. You know the saying, money doesn't buy happiness?
Yeah.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
It's not that true.
I don't. Yeah.
Because it gives you access. Mm-hmm. And with access, that allows you to have more experiences and do the things that is going to bring you a little bit of joy and a little slice of happiness. Like, if I have some extra coins and I could take a trip, or I can go to the spa, or I can get my nails done, or I can invest, or I can come to dance class. Yes. Like, those things make me happy.
Yeah.
So
yes, facts. So let's talk a little bit first before we dive into like some tips and all that. Yeah. What made you choose to go down this road or route of the financial world?
Yeah. To be honest, it's a long story, but shout out to the customer at ShopRite.
Oh,
it was a customer at ShopRite, and it was my summer of junior year, I think, of high school. And they were just like, "Oh, what are you gonna go to college for?" And I said, I think finance, and they were like, "You should do accounting because whatever the case may be." And for whatever reason, it just stuck with me.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. I went and I applied for the accounting programs at a couple of different schools. And long story short, I ended up going to St. John's University, and shout out to STJ. And the ambassador from my open house tour, she was an accounting major, and she was like, "Look, here's the blueprint. This is what you do. This is how you're going to graduate with a job and your license, your CPA license." Yeah. So I just did it, to be honest. Yeah. There's no fancy backstory there.
I just did it. I wish I could just do it. Like, girl, CPA is, I know that test is hard.
Well, the CPA exam, okay, so I'm going to debrief for a second. The CPA exam was the hardest part of that journey. Like, first of all, there's only, I think, 1% Black CPAs. Out of all the CPAs. So shout out to
You're
that.
Like one of two that I know. So shout out to you. For real. I don't know a lot.
Thank you. It was a really hard exam. There's 4 parts to it. You have to essentially pass all 4 parts within 18 months.
Wow.
So you can fail and like take it again, but your scores will expire. So yeah, you're up against 18 months essentially. And I took the entire 18 months.
Yeah.
One part I failed 6 times alone. Wow, so it was excruciating.
Yeah.
But I've never done something on that level where it was like, I just kept going. But what it really was, I had enjoyed being an accounting major in school. I loved what I was learning about business, learning about how money impacts every aspect of life, from we were in New York City, so we talked a lot about gentrification. We talked
Mhm.
a lot about social equity and just things of that nature. And so I just kept going with it. I didn't really know how it was going to play into what I wanted to do because, to be honest, at that time, I just was like, I'm going to be an accountant.
Yeah.
I didn't really foresee Money Honey. I didn't foresee personal finance conversations. I didn't foresee all of that at the time, but that's how I got there. And once I was there, it was like, I like this.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yes.
And this and that. And I just started researching more. Really, my love really started with personal finance. So I was researching more on the personal finance side, stumbled upon financial wellness. And then I just from there was having conversations with so many people. And I realized, oh, there's also business finance that people need support on as well. And that's my journey to working now with small businesses and specifically with startups.
I love that. I love the story. And I love that because Keanna had asked me, we just started working together. She's going to help me with my finances.
We're going to get right. We're going to get right.
Yeah. But you asked me, your initial question was, what's your story? Like, what's your story behind like your business and like all that? So I love that now it's like coming back and now you're able to tell me your story.
Full circle moment.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I love that. Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
What is your definition of financial wellness?
Ooh, okay. This is good. My definition of financial wellness is spirituality meets financial education or literacy. I think that, I believe that a healthy relationship with money is a healthy relationship with self. And so the more that I personally have dived into my relationship with money, it always comes back to how I'm treating myself at the time, what frequency I'm operating on, what things I'm consuming. That could be food, that could be content, that can be television, whatever it is. Like I always just saw a connection with everything. And so when I started talking to people from that lens, which is why when we had our first session, I asked you, what was your story? Because 9 times out of 10, the answers to some of our questions is in our story.
Yes.
So that's what it would be.
Wow.
Spiritual wellness meets financial literacy or education.
I love that. Have you ever read the book Happy Money by Ken Honda? It's good, and it's similar to what you talked about. He's a Japanese like millionaire, billionaire, whatever, but he talks about more like the psychology of money and like how your money essentially has emotions based on your emotions.
Yes.
So like your money, if you're sad, your money's sad. Like, you know, the way that you treat yourself is the way you treat your money and all that. Yeah.
I definitely think the energetics and spirituality plays a role in everything. Of course, there's real life factors of oppression and things of that nature that can prevent certain things from happening. But I do think one aspect that's very important is the energetics and the spirituality of it. So exactly like you said, I make it a point to, when I buy my groceries, I'm like, thank you that I can pay for these groceries. They're expensive as hell, but thank you that I can pay for them. When I pay my bills, I'm always just giving thanks for that. I have a very intimate relationship with my money. Like, if you went in my bank account right now and you gave me a number, I could tell you exactly what it was for. Or if you gave me a vendor, I probably could tell you exactly how much it costs. Like, I like to just know. And one of my favorite affirmations is, money is my friend.
Yes.
Money loves me.
Yes.
Money finds me anywhere that I am. Money likes to chill with me. Like, you know, just things like that just put you in a completely different frequency, right? Like, the same thing with love. When you're loving on yourself, odds are you're attracting other experiences of love the same way. And not to say it's like, if you hate your money, you're not going to have money. No, not to say that. It's just to tap into that abundance that you talked about. Because that's another thing. Abundance is always here. It's always present. There's nothing we can do that can shift or take away the abundance that we have. It's here. Our human experience allows for blocks.
Yes.
But it's not that the abundance is not there. It's not that the money's not there. So just deciphering between those two is important.
Yeah. Ooh, can we talk a little bit about money blocks? Because this is something that I recently have heard of and understand now, like what a money block is. first I'm going to say what I think it is, and then you can like elaborate a little bit. So
Okay.
I think a money block is an energetic, maybe like space or something that you have, or it could be a belief that you have
Yes.
surrounding money. So it could be maybe your parents were telling you, you know, like money doesn't grow on trees. That's like the most common thing. Or we ain't got McDonald's money or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So like you grow up believing these things like, oh, I don't have money for this food, or I don't have money for this, or I don't have money to do a dance class or something,
Yep.
you know, luxurious that I like. So you start believing those things, and then yeah, like it becomes blocks in your life.
Yes, I definitely am exploring money blocks more as well. I do agree that one aspect of a money block is our beliefs, and especially the ones that we picked up when we were children. So one of the questions that I would always ask in the financial wellness sessions are, what is your first memory of money? How did your parents treat money? Were they savers? Were they big spenders? Did you guys go on vacations? Did you not? Did you feel like you had a life of luxury? Whatever you think luxury is, do you feel like you had a life of luxury? Do you get anxious when you look at your bills or check your bank account? Do you never look at your bank account? Do you feel good? Like those type of questions, because that is rooted in our beliefs, and those beliefs can be a form of a money block. And it can be, it's the energetics of it, like we said, you know. And I'm definitely dealing with money blocks too, like just getting comfortable with them,
especially being black. Come on now, like being a black child, like you,
especially if you have Caribbean descent.
I was just about to say,
Caribbean
immigrant, yeah, any type of immigrant, like yep.
And it's so interesting to me how it shows up. Like one of my favorite ones to talk about that honestly still, I don't know when I'm going to get over it, but hopefully one day. Shout out to my friend Kayla, because she always helps me with this. It's the one about shopping. Like growing up, now I realize like, okay, we didn't really have it. So that's why we weren't shopping as often as I think we should have been. But growing up, we literally would, if it was back to school or summer, then it's like, okay, you got to get new clothes for that. But if something happened to those clothes in between then and the next time, it just was what it was, you know? And so now I find myself literally waiting till the last minute
to get something
stuff
that you need.
Yeah. Like I'll get rid of it because I've gotten really good at getting rid of things.
It feels
but
good.
I won't replace it until I need to. Like, for example, I just moved and I got rid of my winter boots. And then we had our first snowfall and I was like,
where are my boots at?
Like, I never bought these boots again. And I had to just like quickly buy it.
Yeah.
But I was like, girl, you knew when you got rid of the boots that you was gonna need it.
Yes.
And it took a lot for me to go and buy it because I was just like, I don't want to spend the money on this.
Yep.
Like, even though I know I need it, I'm like,
and
is
you
it
know
gonna
the
snow
money's
again?
Coming back too.
I know the money's coming back.
Yeah.
I'm like, but is it gonna snow again?
Right.
Do I need it? And we're actually getting mad snow this winter. We're getting so much snow.
Girl.
But I still was like,
yeah,
I could probably go it out.
Like, I'll be fine.
You know? Or like my apartment, I've been here for 3 months now and I just got the dresser and the bed and like, yes, in time I'll fill up the crib, but I'm also like, girl, fill up the crib so we can be comfortable, you know? And it's just, I'm working through that feeling of like, I don't want to spend this money all right now.
Yes.
I don't want to have to put out a large amount.
Yes.
Because a part of me is like, is it really going to come back?
Like holding on to your money mad tight. Like,
but that's not cool.
Yeah.
Because like, think about it. If we say money is our friend don't want us holding on to them that tight
right.
either. like give me room.
Right.
You know?
It's giving anxious attachment. Yeah.
It definitely is. And I'm definitely trying to grasp the anxious attachment thing, but you know, one step at a time.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
Yeah. That's so good. So what are some things that people can actively do daily basis, weekly basis to get more, I guess, financially healthy, like to have a better mindset surrounding money? What are some things that they can, I guess, like habits, overall habits every single day? I know for you would set me like a money prayer, like money affirmations, things like that.
I'm a words of affirmation girly. So I'm reciting all day, like I'm divinely led, guided, and protected. I am divinely abundant and prosperous. Money is my friend.
Yes.
Money loves me. I have room for all things abundant. And then a gratitude practice. I'm currently for Lent season challenging myself to write down my gratitude list every day, but to really get specific with it too. Actually, yesterday I saw someone said to also give gratitude for the things that are on its way to you. And that to me just was like, oh, that's big abundant energy.
Yes.
Like giving thanks before it even comes. And I know that.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I've done that.
Yeah.
But having that reminder while I'm in the midst of this practice, game changer. And I'm so excited to see after Lent season, like what I call in just from giving gratitude before it gets here. And another practice on that front from Tatiana Tarot on IG is to write down like what your just a monthly dollar amount that you would like to have. Let's say it's 10,000.
Yes.
And you will essentially write down all the ways in which you receive that $10,000 in the month. And the purpose behind it, one, is to bring your awareness into that frequency of the abundance that is present in your life.
Yes.
But also for you to see how money shows up in ways that isn't tangible. So for example, if we go out to eat and I pay for you, that's money saved on your end, right? Or if we come to class and we sponsor like 3 people to come with us, that's abundant energy. You know, like the money didn't necessarily flow to the people who came, but it was something that they were able to do. There was a dollar value to it. They didn't have to put anything out for it. So it's like, think about the ways, you know, if you found it, you got a savings. You went to go get a dress, and the dress that you really wanted, the tag says 75, and you're like, I came in here to spend 40.
Yes.
But then you get to the cash register and they're like, oh, it's $29.99. Big abundant energy.
Yes.
And those little moments we sometimes miss. Or we're just like, oh, I got a good deal. No, big abundant energy.
Yes.
You know? So just like finding ways to remind yourself in the moment of the ways abundance is showing up for you.
Yes.
I think that's really key. And there's another practice. I forgot where I saw this one, but I did this one when I was on a self-sponsored sabbatical, and it was really helpful. But it like basically every day you would give yourself $1,000. Like if you're journaling, you write down $1,000 deposit, and then you write what you would do with the $1,000.
Yes.
And each day, so if today you got 1,000, tomorrow you get 2, the next day 3, so on and so forth. So in doing that, I was like writing down the things that I would do, and very quickly I realized one of the points of that exercise is you realize tomorrow's taken care of.
And you get comfortable spending that dollar amount.
And you get comfortable spending that dollar amount. But honestly, by like the 7th day, I'm like, I don't know what else to put on here because I done paid for it, invested it. You know, I did so much, and I had to really stretch. That's the other thing. You stretch what's possible in your mind. Because some of us is like, $1,000 can seem like a lot.
Yes.
If it's far away, you know, or maybe it's 10,000, maybe it's 100,000. That seems far away.
Yeah.
But if you are training yourself that like, nah, it's within my reach.
Yes.
Then you can do it.
Girl.
We literally just had a conversation with a client, and she was like, I'm gonna make $1 million this year. Like, I'm gonna do it. Like, I could make money. And she was talking very, very casually. And I was like, I'm about to add that to my effort. I can make $1 million.
No, for real. Dead ass. Yo.
And she just kept like, so yeah, actually I'm gonna add that to my effort.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm gonna do it. Again and again.
I love that you say that because I literally just read this in the book that I'm reading. What's it called?
It's a book that you're
Esther
reading.
Hicks. Ask and it is given.
That's where I got the practice from. Ask and it is given. That's the book.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at in the book. And I kid you not, like was like 3 days ago. I read that practice, that prompt. And I was like, okay.
That book is great because I like what it says about accessing the next best feeling. So like if right now I'm feeling sad and all I want to be happy, but all I can get is to like contentment, then just get there. And I feel like that's why this practice is so good because it's like, okay, I may not physically have this yet, but I'm calling it in. I'm going to get my energy aligned to that frequency to be on that. So on the spiritual front, Yes.
Yes.
Do all of these things. And of course, I could go on for days about different journal prompts and all of that. And that's your self-work, which goes back to, like I said, a healthy relationship with money is a healthy relationship with self. So the other aspect is the more tangible things. You know, I think it's very important to be intimate with your finances. You should be looking at your account. You should be looking at it, and you should be looking at it often. If it's not daily, at least weekly. And we spoke, like, that goes for business finances too.
Absolutely.
You just have to be in the know. If you don't know what your money's doing, it's going to be really hard for you to do other things. And sometimes it's not about getting the money. Sometimes it's keeping it. There's people who experience a lot of money moving through their life, a lot of money flowing very easily, but they can't keep it long enough. They can't hold it long enough to grow it. They don't know how to grow it. You know, so it's like, identify where you are with your money. Sometimes it's not always a spend problem. Sometimes you just don't make enough. And you got to switch it up. You have to figure out.
Which I think is most people's problem in this economy. Probably. Yeah, like the average American is like, I can't make $10 an hour and pay my rent. Like, what you talking about?
Absolutely. And that's why when you are intimate with your money and you are, let's say you're budgeting, whatever form of budgeting that looks like, as long as you're looking at it and you know what the ins and outs are, then you can identify what your problem is. I've had seasons where, okay, you spending a little bit too much money. But then I have seasons where, like right now, where it's like, you need to make more money. So you need to figure out for your wealth plan, how are you going to increase your income? I wouldn't know that if I didn't know how my money was actually moving. So I think it's very important for that.
Let me ask you, so would you recommend people keeping like a spreadsheet for budgeting, or would you recommend like a specific app? I know there's like Mint, there's like some other apps and stuff. I don't know. I'm not crazy about the apps. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like spreadsheets are better just to see everything black and white. But what would you say or recommend?
Definitely preference. I think whatever you're comfortable with works. If that's an app, get it. I think Mint was brought out by Intuit. So it might have a different name, but Mint works. I think there was like Everyday Budget or Your Budget or something like that. I'm not an app girly myself. I am a CPA, so I am a spreadsheet
You probably
girly.
write it down in pencil.
I am a spreadsheet girly, not a pencil, because that would send me through the roof. Also very anxious. Remember when we said anxious attachment?
You're right.
That would send me through the roof. But I do have I've gone through a couple different styles of spreadsheets. And the process that I found that I'm most comfortable with, and this is again through trial and error. That's why I say it's really preference. But the process that I found that I like is, one, I like to see what's my income source. Where am I getting money from? And I like to do it on a monthly basis. And then I have all my expenses. And to tap into my abundant energy, for my expenses, I only list the things that have a due date. Because those are fixed. I have to pay those. They usually don't really vary, except for like utilities, because that's usage. But for the most part, it's going to be around the same thing. And so I have a separate bill account. And my bills come out of one account. And then I have a designated amount every month that comes out and goes into a spend account.
For just flexible, your own things.
And so for me, that spend account looks like dance class, groceries, maybe gas, going out, date night, and anything else I want to do for me. I put it in that account, and it helps me personally because I'm able to say my bills got paid. Of course, my savings is on auto transfer. And then I have my spend account. So whatever money's in there, I know that my goals have already been met, and I can do whatever I want with this money. That feels good to me because it doesn't feel restrictive. I've tried like the $0 budget. I don't know if you've heard of it, but basically that's from Dave Ramsey. And it's like, if you make $1,000 for a month, each dollar needs to be accounted to something. So that every month your account should be going to zero because you've put it everywhere. That includes your savings, your investing, your bills, spending, anything like that. All of it must be accounted for. And that worked for me for a long time. I saved $10,000 using that process.
That's probably good if you want to bring down debt or save.
And it worked. It helped me. it honestly helped me build that budgeting muscle. It really helped me. And shout out to Alex because she was on me about Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
But
this podcast is good.
Yes, you just have to find what works for you and what feels good for you. So a spreadsheet could be cool. A pen and paper could be cool. And even just knowing where your money got to go and then having separate accounts, maybe that might be helpful, or a combination of the three could be helpful.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This was a lot of like good information. And I really hope that if you guys are listening or watching on YouTube that you're taking some notes, or you took some notes. Or also, Keanna, please tell them where they can find you and Money Honey on social media.
Yes. So for Money Honey, especially if you have a business, you're an entrepreneur, freelancer, contractor, anything like that, you need your taxes, bookkeeping, that's going to be at moneyhoney.fin on IG. And then for me, it's going to be at _all_things_key, that's KEE, on IG as well.
Yes. Make sure y'all follow. Okay.
Yes.
Stop playing around.
Stay tuned.
And tell them when taxes are due.
Taxes are due in April. Please get it done. If you have a business, if it's an S Corp, that's in March. So just check out Money Honey Fin. We got you with the deadlines.
Yes.
And we'll help you out. We'll get you situated.
Get you right.
We'll get you right.
Yeah. Let me put that date in my calendar real quick.
April, girl. April.
Jesus.
Do it sooner. See, just get it out the way. Just get it out the way.
I will.
It's all gonna be good. We're gonna get you right this year.
Yeah. You know the vibes. But thank you so much, Keanna, for coming on the show. I appreciate you so much. I definitely would love to have a part 2 if you're down for that.
For sure.
Yeah. And if you guys are listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure you rate and review the podcast, preferably 5 stars. Y'all know how I feel about y'all, you know. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, drop a comment, let us know something that you loved about this episode, and we will catch you guys on the next one.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.